So today we have Ted joining us from College Board. He is the Executive Director of the Midwest region for College Board. And he is going to share with us some of the things that College Board can bring to school districts in an AP potential tool. I'm going to let him explain more, but Ted, now it's up to you and take her away.
All right, well, hopefully you can all see the PowerPoint screen. Jeff, if you can just let me know. All right, great. So thanks, Jeff, and welcome everybody. Thanks for joining today. We will be talking about the College Board's AP Potential Tool. It's a free online tool available to all school districts. You can see there I'm the Executive Director for Michigan and recently added Missouri to my portfolio. So I'm working in both Michigan and Missouri, but I'm from Michigan, and so Michigan counts more to me. My email address is there, tgardella@collegeboard.org. You can feel free to send me any questions, or if you're working with a district and they have questions, please feel free to use me as a resource. So what are we going to do today? We are going to review the AP Potential Tool, both as just a standalone PowerPoint. I will share some web addresses for AP Potential resources that are very easy to find. And then we actually will run a demonstration version of the tool. So this demo is actually available. So if you are working with a school, you can actually use the demo. You can use the brochures that we have available as well. All of this is free and available and very, very easy to find. I will say that it's very important as you're working with school districts that you make sure that they have their AP Potential access code. We'll talk more about that as we get into the presentation. And here's the screen. Every school district, every high school gets an email every year with their AP Potential access code. The email is sent to the principal and to the AP coordinator of that building. There are also district access codes that are provided to the district contact who's in our system as the district contact. So in order to use the tool at the school level, a school has to enter their access code each year. And the reason for that is because the data changes every year. We want to make sure that the right people have access to this data, which can include student scores if you work your way through the tool. So your schools that you're working with or your districts that you're working with can always find their AP Potential access code in the College Board's K-12 Educator Score Portal. That is the electronic score portal that we provide for all College Board data to schools and districts. Very, very heavily used in Michigan, especially with the question analysis report. We work with all of the ISDs and RESAs, and we also work with the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals on data workshops. So Michigan schools are pretty familiar with using the data portal. In order to find the access code, though, it's at the top of the Raster report. So a school that can't recall their access code would go into the K-12 Educator Score Portal for the school. They would run the Raster report, and on the top right-hand side, they will find their access code. In order to use the access code, you have to have a College Board professional account. And so, again, if you're working with schools, it's a great idea, and with districts as well. It's a great idea for you to ask them to share their K-12 Educator portal with you. You can be added as a guest if you have a College Board professional account. Easy to set up, takes about 5 minutes. We have a lot of folks at the department who have accounts because we provide a lot of different data at the state level. But the way that you access the AP Potential tool, there are two different ways. One is to go to their College Board professional account, click on their dashboard, and then check under Tools and Services. If they don't have AP Potential listed there, they would scroll down to K-12 Programs and Services, which is below their dashboard. They'd click on the right arrow, and they would click on Add AP Potential access, and it will ask them for their access code if they need to do that. So again, any questions, if you're working with a school district and they're having a hard time adding this, please just reach out to me or my other team member, who's Carrie Anima, and we'll be happy to help. So what's in the AP Potential data for this year? So in the fall, we had quite a bit of fall assessment volumes. As you know, the spring assessments in 2020 were canceled due to the pandemic, and we offered optional fall assessment in grades 9 through 12 that were paid for by the Department of Education. So ninth graders, and they would have been eighth graders in 2020, so their opportunity in 2020 spring would have been to take the PSAT 8-9. As ninth graders in the fall, we had about 44,000 testers. For PSAT and MSQT for grade 10, these would have been ninth graders the previous year, they're 10th graders this year. They took the PSAT and MSQT this fall, over 38,000 testers statewide. For grade 11, we had over 49,000 testers, but there's an asterisk there because we also offered a January test date. Now, the January test date was January 26th. There were snow conditions in Michigan, so we don't know exactly how many students tested, but so far we've got over 6,000 answer sheets scored for the January 26th date. So well over 50,000 testers for grades 11. I don't have the grade level breakdown for January 26th yet, so we don't have final numbers or grade levels. So that 38,000 for grade 10 and the 49,000 for grade 11 could change. And that data from January 26th should be in the AP Potential tool by March. For grade 12 students, we had over 1,000 testers just on the Saturday national admins to date. And then combined with our school day in the fall, we had 3 different dates in the fall, and national admins last year, we have over 68,000 testers that are grade 12. Now, using the AP Potential tool is really to help guide course selection. So you're not really going to use the SAT for grade 12 because those students are obviously in their senior year. They've already done all of their course selection. So the focus is really on grades 10 and 11 for this year's course selection work. Now, just a note on fall assessments, and schools are familiar with this, so are all the ISDs and RESAs. The PSAT 8-9 and the initial date, the October 14th date for the PSAT and MSQT, were released forms this year. This means that in the question analysis report in our K-12 educator portal, schools and school districts can see specific student response percentages, and the tool itself will link to the actual items. Because they're released forms, they can see the items and they can see the performance on that items. This is a very, very powerful item analysis tool that's used very, very strongly in Michigan. The SAT, however, was not a release form. So the SAT question bank, which we've released, is a resource for schools. They can develop practice questions that are similar to ones that were on the SAT in the fall. In spring testing, if we are fortunate enough to be able to deliver spring testing this year, the opposite release form schedule will occur. So PSAT 8-9 and PSAT 10 will not be release forms for the spring, but the SAT will be a release form. This is really only applicable to school districts that you're working with who are using the K-12 reporting portal and want to know what's in the question analysis report. So on to the AP Potential tool. All schools have the ability to develop lists of students who have the potential to be successful in AP courses. Students also have a different form of this information in their student College Board accounts. The data in the AP Potential tool is based on decades of research. We have been monitoring the PSAT scores of all AP test takers for decades. And so we have very strong correlations between certain score levels on our PSAT and SAT tests and corresponding AP exams. So the data here is very strong. Now, we never recommend that AP Potential be the single determiner of whether or not a student takes an AP course, but it's a very powerful view especially for students who may not demonstrate it in their classwork or in their study demeanor, but they have the potential. And so the test results really, in some senses, can unlock perceptions, especially among teachers and counselors and administrators for many, many students. So as we're looking at the AP Potential tool, and again, we will run a demo version of this, and you'll have access to that demo as well. You can select many subjects in AP, but not all of them. Not every exam had a high enough correlation in the research to allow us to use it in the tool. And some tests just don't, they just don't align well with PSAT, SAT scores. So for instance, you're not seeing the studio art tests available here. You're seeing some asterisks around Calc AB and Physics 1. So we don't report separately on Calc BC, but if a student has got potential or maybe high potential for AB, a school could consider offering them BC. Same thing for Physics 2. If they have a high potential for Physics 1, or if they've done very well in prerequisite courses, then they may want to consider taking Physics 2. So again, we recommend that they consider other factors besides the AP Potential tool. Step 3, and again, we'll go through all of this, is they choose the grade levels of the students they want to include in the rosters. When they first come to this screen in the tool, several of the grade levels are grayed out. They're not available to be chosen. And the reason is because the AP Potential data just generally does not recommend using that data for placement into an AP course. It is, however, very powerful data to use in student advising, especially at the 8th and 9th grade level. So if we take a look at a student who's taken an 8th grade test at their AP Potential, we're not really interested in putting them into an AP course in 9th grade. But what we want to do is make sure that in our course advising and in their course taking, that they're taking prerequisite courses that could lead them to AP or other rigorous coursework. So as you'll see when we run the demo, this is what the roster will look like. It will have the student name, their grade level, their ID that's in our system, which is, it's sometimes it is the UIC, sometimes it's not. So I would not count on the student ID being an accurate reflection of the student's UIC. If they have potential in a particular course, there will be a Y in the column. And you see up above, you see that 60 there. We'll talk about that 60 for each of these courses. And this roster can actually be exported to a spreadsheet. And you can also click directly into the course itself to get more information about the students. So the other thing that the tool does, and this is where Dr. Rice has been very, very interested. The tool itself will generate parent letters. And so it's automatic. It will generate them in either English or Spanish. There's a little bit of customization that users can do ahead of generating the letters. They can put in their contact name and info and their signature line. But because it results in a Word file, they can use the search and replace feature to further customize the letters appropriate to their school. This is what the letters look like. They actually will list all of the courses that have been set up in the tool that the student has potential for. And so it's a very encouraging message to talk with their counselors and think about registering, selecting courses that are appropriate for their potential. Now, we're going to stop at this point. We're going to do two things. We're going to see if there are some initial questions. There are links in this PowerPoint. I will send this PowerPoint to Jeff so that you have it. But what I'm going to show you, we're going to jump out of the slideshow and we're going to go into the demo. And I'm actually going to show you how to find it very easily without having the need for these web links. So I'll stop here. Jeff, if there are any questions in chat, or if you want to unmute folks, if they want to ask any questions before we do the demo, happy to answer those.
Ted, I do not see any questions in the chat at this time. So if you want to go and show us that that tool. Or as Ted said, if anyone wants to speak up, just unmute yourself and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, that's my 3 seconds of Madeline Hunter iTip training wait time. So I'll share our demo. And then again, if you want to ask questions as we're going along, you can feel free to do that. Let's see if this opens it up. So again, Jeff, if you can let me know that you're seeing my Google screen, that would be helpful. All right, great, thank you. So here's all I did to reach the AP Potential tool, folks. I didn't use the links. I just went into Google and I entered AP Potential, and the very first search result is our main screen for the tool. So I'll click there, and it'll take you right to the AP Potential login page separately. So you don't have to go through your College Board account, but in order to use the tool with your school's data, you do have to sign in. So if you want to use your school data, you would have to sign in here with your username and password of your College Board account. And you would also have had to previously enter the access code. So again, it's very important that they add the tool to their dashboard using their access code. But for you, if you want to use the demos, all of those are available on this page. So this is the lead-in page. It talks a little bit about what the tool is. It has a link to all of the data. So if you want to see the score correlations for different AP exams with respect to their correlation to PSAT scores, you can get that. You can see the expectancy tables. You can see the latest statistical report. So this would, if someone wants to know, well, what's the research underneath AP Potential? You can grab that statistical report right from the screen. We, however, are going to go into the demos and webinars link. And so here's all the free demos and webinars and brochures that are available. There's a demonstration of the tool at the school level. That's the one we're going to look at. There's a demonstration of the tool at the district level. I'll explain the difference between the two, but we're not actually going to run that demo. There is, this is a fairly old webinar. I know it's old because I did it when I was working in the AP division of the College Board, which is more than 5 years ago. So, probably not the best use of their time to look at this webinar, but there are two different brochures. So there is a brochure for school and district users, and then there's also a brochure for state users. Now, the state level access is really limited to just several people. I think Jeff has access. I think I know Andy Middlestead has access. I know Sheila Alice has access. So it's very limited because the tool at the state level includes all of the student data. And so just want to be very, very careful in using that. But in using these demos, none of the data is real here. All of the data here is fake. So we're going to jump into the school demonstration. And you're going to kind of see a familiar screen. This was in the PowerPoint. But this is step one. The first thing that schools have to do is they have to select the administration year of the data that they want to use. Now, you're noticing there's 3 years worth of data for every SAT Suite exam here. Why 3 years of data? Well, it's really simple. There are states and there are schools that have been using this tool for quite a long time. And what they do is they take a look at their 2018 data for AP Potential, and then they go into their AP score report for 2020. And they try to match up. Did all of our students who exhibited potential in 2018 eventually take an AP course, a corresponding AP course in 2019 or 2020? So it's a very useful tool to see whether or not they're actually realizing their potential. Now, we're going to go ahead and use a 2019 PSAT 10 admin. You're seeing all of the 2020s grayed out. That will probably also be true for the spring administrations in the districts that you're working with, but there will be fall administration data in here. So there will be data for the 2020 PSAT and MSQT administration. So I'll click next. And this screen is actually very specific to the school level tool. It only comes up when you're using the tool at the school level. It does not come up when you're using the tool at the district level. And what this does is it allows the user to either continue to generate the roster manually, or they can go into two preset rosters. One is identifying 10th and 11th grade students who have the potential to succeed in AP courses that are already offered at the school. So this is a roster that they could use to expand the number of sections for courses they're already offering. But it will be set at the default level of the tool. They can't really customize it, and so the manual version is a little bit more powerful. The second preset is that they can identify 10th and 11th graders who have the potential to succeed in AP courses that are not offered at their school. So this is how they can expand their AP program. Now, I do want to note a caveat. The way that we determine whether or not a course is offered is if 5 exams were taken in the past year in that course at that school. So if they took less than 5 exams, certainly possible in Michigan with Michigan Virtual's great AP resources. Michigan Virtual offers almost 30 AP courses, and many times schools that have a small population of students will use Michigan Virtual. So they wouldn't show up as a course. It would show up as a course not offered, but in reality they are offering it virtually. We're not going to use either of these presets. I just wanted to demo that for you. We're going to generate the roster manually. So the first thing we do is select subjects. I'm going to select Calc. I'm going to select a science course, English language and lit. I'll do government and politics US. I'm going to do microeconomics, psych and stats, and US history. So I've chosen those courses and I'm going to click next. I didn't get my US history, but that's okay. Here's that screen where I showed you that some of the grades are going to be grayed out. The way that they can activate those grade levels is to click this radio button. So it just gives them guidance and says they may be in grades that are not included in our statistical calculations of AP potential. So if they want to open that up, again, this would be more for advising rather than course placement. Really, we look at the College Board, we look mainly at grades 10 and 11 as the prime grades for placement into an AP course. So I'm going to choose our 10th grade students. And now I'll scroll down because there's further work we can do to define the pool. Here's that 60 that I mentioned before on the roster. This is a default setting which can be customized by the user. And this represents a 60% likelihood that a student would get a 3 or higher on a test. Now, I worked with a statistics teacher in one of my districts, and she said, Ted, we flip coins in our stats class all the time, and I think I'm a pretty good stats teacher. So I'd like you to drop the percent likelihood to 50%. When you drop the percent likelihood and update the pool, remember that we have 233 right now, but when we update the pool, you'll see that dropping the percent likelihood increases the size of the pool. Conversely, you might have a grumpy calculus teacher like, one of my friends and colleagues who only wants to have students who have at least 70% likelihood to be successful on the AP exam. They might have a high pass rate and they want to continue to have that high pass rate. So when you increase the percent likelihood and update the pool, we go from 317 to 245. Decrease the percent likelihood, increase your pool, increase percent likelihood, decrease your pool. These will be stronger students, but you will have fewer of them. If you have teachers who want to expand their sections, then they'll want to obviously provide more supports, more instructional supports to students and go with a little bit lesser percent likelihood. Really good information. It's not showing up here because this is a demo, but when you do this at a school level, the tool will show how many exam takers the school had last year and how many of those exam takers had a 3 or higher. Great information because let's say you have 245 students with potential and only 100 exam takers. That's a clear signal that you could expand your course sections. Another good piece of data that's in here, let's say that maybe your English lang teacher is doing a great job recruiting students, has about 200 taking the exam, but maybe only 50 are getting a 3 or higher. That might be an indication that the school needs to provide some additional professional development or some guidance to that teacher in terms of using the resources that we're currently offering in AP Classroom. I'm going to use these numbers though, and I'm going to click next so that you can see the roster. The roster comes up and it looks exactly like what we saw. Again, you can export this into a spreadsheet file. You get a little bit more information in the spreadsheet file than what's in the roster here. I'm not going to do that because what it does is it shows the student's gender, ethnicity, and a little bit more information. It's a powerful way to expand access. So for instance, if a school is interested in adding more females to their computer science courses, then they can export this to CSV and look at the spreadsheet and maybe filter for females who have potential in AP computer science principles. Here are the numbers that we chose, and I will slide over. You can see there's that 50 in statistics. And importantly, if a district runs the tool and they want to see, I want more information on the students who have potential for government and politics, they can click on the course name and that will open up Yes, there we go. It will open up the subject detail screen. So this is all of the information about those students who had potential in government and politics. You'll see that if you do click on this, again, you need to be careful because you'll have student personally identifiable information. You'll have their score data and their name. So you really only want to do this when you're working with a school and they're using this and being aware that, you know, FERPA concerns could be entered in here. But what it will also tell you is what's the percent of students who had this score that had that same level of success. Remember, we chose 60. The correlation is very high. It's 0.647 correlation. But this student actually has a score that's identified with students who have a 70% likelihood of success. You'll also see the student ethnicity and gender in this table. Next student has a score that corresponds to 80% likelihood. So you'll actually get a bit more information when you click on that. As I said, you can also, on the next screen, you can generate letters to parents. I'm going to show you that, but in order to do that, I have to jump out of the demo and show you a file that I've already generated. It doesn't take too terribly long, and what it will do is it will allow you to customize. You can enter in contact information here if you want. And then when you generate the letters in English, that information will be included in the letters. So it's generating a couple of hundred letters in English, and it's a Word file. So you should see that it will download over here. I have one available, so I'm going to just jump out of here. Stop sharing this, and then I will share my desktop, and I'm going to open up a file for you. Actually, I guess I'm just going to open up this file. So again, Jeff, if you could just let me know if the Word program is showing up on the sharing screen.
We're good, Ted.
Great. Okay, thanks. Thanks. So, oops, sorry, what happened? Gosh. There it is. I hope you're still seeing this letter. So here's the letter. Again, it shows all the subjects that I chose. It has the whatever address is in our system for that student. And again, they can use the search and replace feature of Word to further customize that. But you'll see that my name is in there as the signature line. And so every student that was identified would have a separate letter. Very, very powerful feature of the tool. So let's stop there and then let's check. So you're now seeing my desktop screen, Jeff? Okay, great, thanks. I'm going to stop that share.
Okay, Ted, we did have a question
Great.
of, and I'm guessing it refers back to that data table that English literature seemed a little light, but I'm guessing that's just because it's a dummy mock-up that we're looking at.
Well, I will say that there is a difference between Lang and Lit AP potential. So it takes a little bit higher score to get the same level of potential in lit. And that's that same reasoning around calculus BC versus calculus AB. You might want to, if you're looking for BC students, you might want to go into the tool and set the AB potential level at 70%. So that's another reason to set that tool in that way.
The other question we have is that the letters are available in English and Spanish. Are they available in any other languages?
No,
And
English and Spanish are the only two.
so then I'm going to follow that up with, if as a state we could give you some of our more popular or other languages that are dominant in the state, is there a way that you could draft those letters in those other languages?
We don't have that capacity at this time. I think there have been requests on that, but we do a lot of translations of other things. We just don't do it for the tool.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Let me go back into the PowerPoint, and hopefully, Jeff, again, just let me know if you're seeing these last couple of screens.
Yep.
Okay, great. So again,
now we got your notes slide up, so
okay.
it's you got a multiple thing going on, just not the
all right, we'll just go with this. Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Okay. So after the resources in the PowerPoint, it actually shows how students can view this information. So if a student goes into their College Board account, up at the top of their College Board account, they'll see a button for AP Potential. They'll also see all of their scores. In the student account, the AP Potential is only based on their most recent test score. So they can't go in and say, well, look, I took PSAT. I want to see what potential I had based on that score. It's going to be based on their most recent score. And it will actually look a little bit different for them. So if they click on AP Potential, it will show them a screen with some radio buttons. So it will put all of the courses here, and then it will say, okay, well, 2 radio buttons are lit up. What does that mean? If all 3 buttons are lit up, then that means they have AP Potential at the 60% level or higher. If 2 buttons are lit up, we call that some potential. That's between 40 and 60% likelihood. And if only a single button is lit up, we call that potential not yet demonstrated. And so that's below 40%. It will also show them whether or not their school offers that course. And again, it's on the 5 exam benchmark from the previous year. But it also shows them if that course matches the major that they've identified when they set up their College Board account. So it's really good information for the students. We've seen this data actually propel some students to asking for a course maybe that isn't offered, or sometimes asking to be placed into a course where maybe they hadn't, maybe they didn't have a teacher recommendation, but their performance certainly shows that they could be successful in the course. And again, using the tool can help schools really look at their data to see, are we offering enough sections, and are we offering the right courses? So I'll stop there. Again, ask if there are any questions. I'll leave my contact information up. If there are any further questions on the tool, I'm happy to answer them. I'll stop sharing at that point. Jeff, I will send you the PowerPoint so that you have that available for everyone. You have the recording. And again, I'm certainly more than happy to be a resource. If you're working with schools or school districts and they want to really focus in on expanding their AP program, we'd be happy to help them with their data, happy to help them with strategies. A lot of it really is hopefully a conversation between not only the counselor and the student, but the counselor, the principal, and the teacher. I've worked with many teachers who are like, look, I'm a really great AP teacher. I'll take a kid. I believe I can take a kid with 40% likelihood, and I'm that good. We've also produced so many more resources in AP in the last 2 years. We have daily AP videos. We have practice questions for every AP topic. We're going to have live AP review sessions this year. We've really offered just a plethora of resources for AP teachers, making them more confident and hopefully making students more confident.
Ted, there was a question posted, and I'm a big advocate for student voice and choice. So could you possibly quickly summarize how a parent can get that student information without going through the school district? I believe that comes to them in a link, but if you could just go through that again so that we can empower parents to also push for and advocate for their son or daughter.
Sure. So the way to do that, Jeff, it's a great question. Parents would need to have some familiarity with their child's College Board account, because we deliver it to the schools, we deliver it to the students. We don't deliver anything separately to the parents. Now, that being said, states that are doing an awful lot. So I always like to tell the story about Connecticut, which is the #1 state in the nation. More than a third of their students not only take AP, but actually get a 3 or higher. And several years ago, I think it was about 7 years ago, we worked with the then commissioner in Connecticut. The commissioner sends out the AP potential letters to students across the state. So the commissioner actually has his staff run the data. They generate the letters. They personalize them a little bit. They send the letters directly to the students. Then they also send a letter to every superintendent in the state of Connecticut. And what they do is they print out a list of all the students that they sent a letter to. So the letter basically says, hey, Superintendent X, just want you to know, I just sent out AP potential letters to all of these students in your district. That usually triggers the superintendent to talk to the high school principal and say, are we sending these letters out? So the letters are very powerful. But in order for parents, if the district's not using the letters, they would have to sit down with their child and say, let's take a look at your College Board account. And I want to click on this AP potential button and see where you might be able to push yourself a little bit in your course selection.
And I know this, I think it's good for our group to hear, but I'm looking for other questions. But yesterday you brought up how much the AP courses, the exams are saving Michigan students in tuition. If you could briefly kind of let everybody know how much this is saving students in potential college costs, I think that would be a real nice fact for them.
Sure. Every year we deliver a potential cost savings overall. So if you look at the administration in May, students who got a 3 or higher, if they take that score of 3 or higher and go to a Michigan college, just using the average tuition, it's $97 million in tuition savings. Now, we also fund low-income students in Michigan. The legislature has been very generous. We have a $1.2 million line item supporting low-income students. They only have to pay $5 for an AP exam. When we look at the return on investment, for every dollar that Michigan spends, and they spent about close to $750,000 out of that 1.2 last year on low-income AP test scores. Again, if those students take those scores of 3 or higher and go to a Michigan college that offers credit, just using the average tuition, it's a 16-to-1 return on investment. So it's about $12 million in potential cost savings. So incredible cost savings when you think about, even at the general price of an AP exam, which is $94. Low-income students, again, only pay $5, but $94, and you could potentially get 3 credits, or in some cases 6 credits. So
another question we have is is there a portable available that has different languages in it?
No, sorry, it's a great question, but it's not something that we have the bandwidth to do. So the portal is only available in English. Okay. The student portal, the student account, is only available in English.
Okay. And Ted, I always believe that meetings should be right to the point and stay on topic. So the only other thing that I don't think people are aware of is, could you quickly show us or talk about the Excel spreadsheet that's available on state data? There's a nice Excel spreadsheet that breaks down the ethnic diversity, the kind of the mega data of scores, that type of thing. If you could.
I'm going to see, let me see if I can grab that because I know what you're talking about. So, and I'll see if I can show it to you. I'm opening up right now. This data is called the right to rigor data. So it's basically a concept of students have a right to rigorous coursework based on their potential. And this is Michigan specific data. So let me see if I can share this, Jeff. It's a great question. I'll try my desktop and see if that works. So let's see if I can bring this over. Let me know if you're seeing that right to rigor spreadsheet, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is actually data that we talked about with the superintendent yesterday, and I can just easily focus in on just a couple of courses. So just looking at English language and comp, the state had 111,000 test takers in the graduating class of 2020 that took any form of the PSAT and MSQT. Out of that, 18,701 students showed potential at the 60% or higher level. Only 6,000 took the AP Lang and Comp test. 11,000 in English Lit, only 2,500. So you can see the potential to expand AP just in the humanities is really huge for the state. Computer Science A, 8,200 students, only 695 took an AP Computer Science A course. Stats, you could easily, by a factor of 4, you could increase the number of students who are taking AP Stats. If we look at biology, the numbers are very similar there. Chemistry. Yep.
Can you skip down to, because I think that'll be of interest to our group, is the big change that we had in the computer sciences. That was, I think, a really neat data point in that presentation.
Sure. That's not in this spreadsheet, but the numbers, and I identified that. We've been working with MySTEM Network for 4 years to expand computer science principles in the state. We've launched over 400 courses. And so last year, in the last year's cohort, the 2020 cohort, 2,125 students took the AP-CSP exam with a 74% passing rate. So 74% or more students got a 3 or higher. That's up 500 exams from the previous year's cohort. So the previous year's cohort had 1,683 students taking the exam, and we had 2,125 in this year's cohort. That number just keeps on growing because of our partnership with MySTEM Network. And we're actually starting to see growth now in Computer Science A, which is the second course in computers. So we're up about 100 students year over year in Computer Science A. And again, very strong performance. So we're not adding students and seeing performance go down. We're adding students and seeing performance remain at a very high level.
Great. Thank you very much. We're going to start wrapping up here. If anyone has any questions that they want to throw in the chat or unmute and ask Ted directly, that will be great. We'll give it the 20-second pause for that.
I'll stop sharing my screen. Ruth Ann, you're right. We're really growing in a phenomenal way in AP-CSP. That project was really due to the leadership of Kathy Surd, originally at West Shore ESD and now with the MySTEM Network, and she remains committed to that work. We've also really, we've got a strong correlation between AP-CSP and the K-12 CS standards. So, you know, we are seeing a really big impact. The great thing about that partnership is launching the course. If you use the code.org program, it's zero cost for the district, zero cost for teacher training, and it's also zero cost for the course because all the course materials are provided by code.org. Everything's online. There's basically a daily lesson plan, and we're getting great success in that course.
Well, not seeing any more questions, Ted. Thank you very much for your time today. I am going to ask that since you're gaining back another 14 minutes in your day, I have one big request for everybody is that, they take that a little time, take that 5 minutes, walk around your office or your current teleworking location, reach for the ceiling and think of our students reaching for the stars. Thank you very much for participating, Ted, and for those joining us today for the webinar.
Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with your folks.